A young girl danced in the crowd, her comical moves drawing quite an audience. But this was no ordinary street performance. She swung her arms wildly as she approached a man who stood mesmerized. Meanwhile, her accomplice seized the opportunity to slip a hand into his pocket. This was their true purpose all along. The man wasn't fooled, though. He immediately sensed something was off and took the girl to the police station. Her name was Yulia, a poor girl from the countryside. This marked her third visit to the police station for theft. Unexpectedly, the man suddenly dropped the charges and even slipped something to the officer. It turned out the man was Volodya, a once-renowned ballet dancer. His actions were motivated by his recognition of Yulia's exceptional talent for ballet. Volodya began training Yulia professionally, personally forcing her feet into proper positions. Her long legs had never been trained before, so Volodya had to use brute force, causing Yulia to cry out in pain. A few days later, Volodya brought Yulia to audition at the ballet academy. Being late, she immediately made a poor impression on the judges. The principal bluntly told her that her large bone structure made her unsuitable for dancing. Surprisingly, Yulia shot back, "Your arms are just as thick, yet you dance too." The principal, furious and speechless, was about to call for the next candidate when an elderly professor nearby began keeping time for Yulia. As impromptu music played, Yulia broke into the magical street dance moves from her pickpocketing days. Though her style was unusual, it couldn't hide her natural flexibility and sense of rhythm. Yulia was successfully admitted to the academy, but the challenges were just beginning. Having no prior training, Yulia didn't even know how to properly extend her leg. Her professor criticized her, saying the harder she tried, the worse she performed, stamping her foot in frustration. After class, while wealthy classmates enjoyed gourmet health meals, poverty-stricken Yulia could only afford rice porridge. When she spotted a partially eaten energy bar and took a bite, the elderly professor caught her in the act. Taking pity on her, the professor offered Yulia a job to earn some living expenses. While working, Yulia accidentally discovered that the professor suffered from dementia, often forgetting students' names. Yulia printed photos of her classmates and patiently helped the professor remember them. In gratitude for keeping her secret, the professor gave Yulia a precious gift, a pair of antique earrings. That same day, however, the professor's dementia flared up again. She frantically searched her bag, desperately looking for her missing treasure. Upon hearing this, Yulia rushed back to her dorm to retrieve the earrings. But by then, the principal had already seen everything clearly. She publicly reprimanded Yulia in front of all her classmates. Only then did the elderly professor suddenly regain her memory. After weathering this storm, Yulia gradually matured at the ballet academy, soon to face the greatest challenger of her life.